All right, I got 11 new fragrances in from Mirror Image. These will be my first impressions. I'll just quickly go over the notes and give my thoughts. And generally with these, they start out pretty good. They get even better over time. The notes kind of smooth out and some of the notes get amped up, and the performance usually gets a little bit better. But yeah, let's get into this first impressions video. Forbidden Cedar is from Two Summer Cedarwood. It's got top notes of bergamot, juniper berries, pine, and cypress. And the mids are rose, jasmine, and atlas cedar. At the base is Chinese cedar, amber, gaiac wood. This is a mainland China exclusive only company, so it's kind of hard to get the real thing over here in the States. I pick up the bergamot and the juniper berries immediately. Then I get the rose, pine, and cypress. As it dries down, I get a lot more of the amber woody notes. Really nice woody, well-rounded, refined fragrance. Be great in the spring or fall. Be nice to see this company get some of these fragrances over here, because the two I've smelled are very impressive. Yeah, they're doing a great thing over there. I'd like to get these over here, and I'm sure they're working on that at some point, because money talks, you would think. All right, you want to be a cowboy? I got this mint cowboy. I want to butcher this, but here we go. It's number 2 Nota Viaggio shukran from Meo Fusciuni. So what it is, it's a mint tobacco fragrance. Really just a blast of refreshing mint immediately. It's really sweet, kind of like a chewing gum type of mint, really refreshing. It's got some nice lemon notes and chamomile that kind of come out to play next. And as it dries down, you get like a hint of tobacco and sandalwood. The tobacco is not really strong. Really nice uplifting kind of fragrance to me. I'd wear this in the spring just because it's got that kind of spring uplifting type of feel to me. And yeah, the mint note in this is really good. Yeah, it'd be interesting to smell the real thing, but I know this version of it is really nice. And yeah, that's one of the things I like about Matt at Mirror Images. He kind of pours over these lists and comes up with these fragrances that I've never even seen, thought about, or got my nose on. So you know, he's kind of curating a nice list. If you start looking at his stuff in his list, there's some interesting stuff on there that you probably wouldn't have ran across on your own. All right, the next one is called Adjustment. And to make another adjustment, in the previous video I did a bunch of samples, and those Creed samples, Matt Lusk from Mirror Image gave me those Creed samples, because I mentioned everybody else, but I didn't mention those, so I'm going to make an adjustment right now. Matt Lusk gave me those Creed samples. That was nice of him. So this is J. Adoub from Mind Games. It's got red currant and mandarin orange right off the top. Then you get some pomegranate, and then in the mid you get some rose, and at the base is leather and patchouli, some benzoins, and amber. It's a unisex leaning feminine type of fragrance. Real easy for me to pull off. Not even close to being too unisex. Really nice fruit, woody, leathery fragrance. Nice rose and amber and spicy tones to it as well. It's got a lot going on, but it balances out really nice. They did a good job of blending this. I'd really like to get my nose on the real thing. This is be great in the fall or winter to me. Yeah, this is really awesome. Love this one. I imagine the real thing is really something, but this is, I'm guessing this one's getting close, because most of his fragrances, when I get the real thing and try it next to it, they're pretty close. All right, Superior is Supreme from Bodaci the Victorious. This one's hard to even find information on. It's one of those real limited releases in another country, and they have a lot of fragrances like that. So it's cool to be able to get my nose on a fragrance like this, because it's almost impossible to find anything on it. But it's got Madagascar nutmeg and saffron off the top. In the mids are lavender and oud. At the base is patchouli and musk. This thing's just well blended, great, well blended, easy to get into oud fragrance. The lavender, nutmeg, and saffron show up immediately. And as it dries down, you pick up the oud, patchouli, and musk. All these are blended really perfectly. No one note jumps out too much, including the oud. Really easy wearing oud fragrance. Be great in winter or fall. This could be like a winter and fall signature scent profile for me. I love this. When I was first writing this, I decided this was my favorite one of the haul. Well, there was one coming that passed it, so this is my second favorite haul. Love this thing. AMBERFIRE is inspired by Penhaligon's World According to Arthur. I got a real bottle here too. This is a decant of the real thing, so I was able to do a side-by-side on this. So it's got notes of vanilla, incense, and grapefruit in the top. In the mid, you get ambrette and clary sage. At the base is incense and tonka bean. It's a really nice vanilla fragrance scent with the spice and smoke. Really kind of balance it out. Like I said, this thing's super balanced. It's unisex, leaning pretty masculine to me. And like I tested these side by side, and they're really close. I mean, they're off barely, and the performance might even be a little bit better than the original. The original doesn't have very good performance, and this one doesn't have monster performance. Must be something about that scent profile, but it's better than the original. And like I said, it's really close. So if you want that seat DNA, this is a no-brainer. Yeah, this is a good fall winter scent profile. Love this one. Argo is inspired by Nishane Neffs. It's got a ton of notes, so I'm not going to get into all those. I never smelled the original, so I don't know how close this is. I've heard of this fragrance, but I never put much thought into it or looked into it too much. But man, I don't know. I messed up there. This is a masterpiece fragrance to me. This is moving up into my Mount Rushmore. I got to try the real thing now, and I'll probably get another clone of it as well. So at some point, I'm going to have to try the real thing. I'm so impressed with this one. So it's a nice oud, rose, and whiskey notes right out of the gate. The fig gives a little bit of a hint of sourness too. There's a fig note in it. And honey and cinnamon notes in it kind of sweeten it up. So it's oud, sweet, floral, and oudy. There's a little bit of rose in it that's nice too. So it's really unique and very intriguing, I would say. Scent profile on this thing just works for me. This is my favorite of the haul. This will be great in the winter. And yeah, I just love it, man. This is just a well-rounded fragrance. And man, I'm crazy about this one. Aficionado is inspired by Mind Game's Grandmaster. It has top notes of rose and blackcurrant, middle notes of coffee and violet. At the base is incense, myrrh, dark woods, and like sweet baked bread. They got another name for the note, but it's basically sweet baked bread. It's unisex, leaning masculine to me. It's sweet and smoky, grinded with coffee, and then rounded out with a rose note. I really like it. Don't know how close this is to the original, but I think this will work well for me in the winter, especially dressed up and going out. This would work out really good. So if you want to go out and show out a little bit, this is a good one to do that with. Royal Bet is a blend of a Venice, BR540, Elysium, and then like added vanilla notes. So really right off the bat, you get the fresh, like aromatic citrus type of fragrance. You have to really search to pick up any of the fragrances mixed in this thing. I get a Venice the most. That's the one I can pick up the most. Second one I can pick up the most is Elysium. And then just a pinch of BR540 and vanilla in this thing. So it's really well blended. Becomes its own thing, not one fragrance dominating. I don't really have anything to compare this to. It's pretty unique. This would be great in the fall or spring. I think this is a great transition fragrance, and really well done on a blend. It's hard, there's no notes really dominating here, so you get a whole new thing going on here. Great idea to come up with this fragrance, and then a great execution by Matt Luss. All right, I got some samples here. I'll go over these next. These are all blends, and there's a bunch of people in the group that comes up with a lot of good blends here, and I know that Shane and Luis are two of the ones always come up with good blends, and there's countless other ones too, but lately I've just been seeing their name come up in them. So this is the Gambler, and what it is, it's Tuxedo, a Venice, and BR540. Right away I pick up the amber and patchouli from the Tuxedo, and that kind of lasts throughout. I'm getting that patchouli throughout. I can barely pick up the fruits and the woody leather from a Venice. I'm glad I just got so many Venice fragrances, so I don't want to smell a bunch of a Venice, but I can pick them up, but barely. And there's just a real bitty hint of BR540, the metallic saffron notes from it. Really well blended again. Matt's good at that. Great transition fragrance again too. I would wear this in spring or fall, the transition seasons. And it's really versatile. And again, it smells like an entirely new fragrance. Does a good job of just letting no one fragrance overpower it again. Because, if you're messing around with blends, it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. You got to put just a touch of something. And like this one, it's a tuxedo forward fragrance is what I would call it. But doesn't really smell like tuxedo with all these other notes in it. So great idea and a great execution. All right, Summer Vanilla. This actually isn't a blend, so I misspoke there, but so the next one will be, but this is not. So it's a Vanilla Eau de Parfum from Acqua di Parma. It's got heliotrope, neroli, bergamot, and orange off the top. In the mid, you get vanilla and jasmine. At the base is musk and cedar. So it really smells like a classy, soapy vanilla type of fragrance, and unisex leaning, kind of feminine to me. Kind of discreet and close to the skin, and I had read that's kind of how the real one wears too, because a fragrance like this, I don't know, I wouldn't want this to be loud. I like the way this wears. So yeah, it'd be good in the transition seasons, like spring or fall to me. It's really unique vanilla fragrance. Yeah, this is very interesting. I'm glad to get my nose on it. Yeah, well done. All right, Immortal is Nishane Ani and Blue Mandarin combined. So right away I pick up that Ani gorgeous vanilla surrounded by spices. And then there's just a touch of citrus and warm sweet spices. from the Blue Mandarin. It's a different type of spices than Ani uses. So it's just enough freshness to kind of like freshen up the Ani. You don't need to mess with Ani too much, man. It's a killer fragrance. And so this was a good idea, and it's a good idea to not like blast a bunch of that the other fragrance into it, because it just needs a little touch of it to you know, turn this fragrance into like a fresher version of Ani. So this could be like an Ani flanker here, really. I love it, but I'm partial to Ani. So yeah, this would be great in spring to me. And out of the samples, this one's my favorite one. I like this one the best. But I am partial to Ani. If you don't like Ani, it's probably not going to be your favorite because it's pretty close to Ani. It's just freshened up with some orange on it and some you know, some aromatic spices that kind of take it in a fresher direction. So yeah, love this one. Whenever I get a Mirror Image fragrances haul, I always have high expectations because generally they come out really well, and I'm happy with them. So this is one of my better hauls here. These really, there were some home runs in here for me, and generally they're all good, and all these were good, but these were even a little bit better than the normal benchmark, which is really good. So yeah, real happy with this haul, and I really love a few of these, and some of these got me really intrigued on trying to maybe hunt down the original scent profile and just see how close these are. So yeah, if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and comment. That helps my algorithm. And let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about some Mirror Image fragrances? Is there some you've tried you like or don't like? And yeah, I love this house. And yeah, I pretty much 99.9% of the fragrances I love. And then the 0.1% are ones I picked out that probably I just don't like that scent profile, because generally they're close to the original. So yeah, you're pretty much getting what you order here. So yeah, I love this house. Matt always does a great job on the shipping and the organization of it too. Like, it's packed in the box good, and yeah, it ships pretty fast. Yeah, love this house. Great haul, and hey, thanks for watching.